I will be off camera the next couple videos because I'm getting over a cold that completely wrecked my voice, but there is some interesting Nintendo Switch 2 news, leaks, rumors floating around online. And if you're somebody who's done with this stuff and you want to wait until Nintendo officially announces anything, you can click off the video now. This is something that may or may not be reliable. There is somebody who's claiming to have information that, interestingly, does have somewhat of a track record and reputation online, although I would not say it's somebody that we can definitely for sure say 100% has accurate info, so keep all of that in mind while talking through this. You can see the following article over on My Nintendo News where it says, Leaker says Square Enix and Switch 2 kits is backwards compatible and has camera, Final Fantasy VII Remake, a launch game. Known video game leaker Amahiro2 posted on Reddit to clarify some points which were originally posted by an imposter on Snitch's Discord server. Amahiro2 says that Square Enix have had Nintendo Switch 2 developer kits for a while now and bringing Final Fantasy VII Remake to the upcoming system. He also confirmed that he can verify the platform is backwards compatible with a few games tested. The console uses new cartridges which are presumably bigger, and the system has a new camera feature lining up with previous leaks on Nintendo Switch 2 platform. Interestingly, he says that Final Fantasy VII Remake looks and runs like a PS5 game on Switch 2 dev kit. He went on to say that the port took no time, I'm told. Could be a launch game, not sure. It looks as though his Reddit account has now been deleted. Now, the biggest takeaway from this entire leak, if true for me personally, would be the confirmation that we have backwards compatibility. It has been a rumored and debated feature that may or may not be included in the Nintendo Switch 2, as if you believe any of the dev kit rumors that have been floating around online, that people have them in their hands right now, and of course you would expect them to at this point if we are to assume that the console will be launching early 2024 or even late 2024, like I'm kind of personally thinking we will see it launch in that window, maybe holiday time. There are some sources out there who say they have heard that yes, indeed, this thing is backwards compatible, and other ones say that it may not be. Could there be different versions of dev kits floating around out there, some of which have more features built out than others, and backwards compatibility is one of those features only on certain dev kits? Yes, it is, but the idea is that Nintendo is likely switching up the cartridge format for this next-gen system, and then that clearly creates a problem with the existing Nintendo Switch cartridges that we would have and use today. But while some think that this will be a very hard problem to solve for, and it will factor into some more cost in the console's production manufacturing, but I'm really picturing a 3DS situation here where we have a different style cartridge for the current next-gen Nintendo Switch system, maybe with the bigger top portion of the cartridge overall, and only a Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge will fit in that way, but then you can still put in an existing Nintendo Switch cartridge the same way we saw the 3DS support the entire DS library of games with backwards compatibility. Nintendo is a company that, if you look at history, they support backwards compatibility more often than not, although there is some exceptions to that rule, but especially with handheld consoles, which you could argue, since the Switch is a hybrid, we're in uncharted territories. I do still think that it is likely, from a business perspective, that Nintendo wants to sell some of the games that are coming out late in the Switch's lifecycle on the next-gen system without just having to simply re-release them. I mean, just look at the recent direct we got for Super Mario Bros. Wonder and all of the love and care that Nintendo put forth into that game's development, not even giving the devs any kind of development timeline that they had to stick to. And when you stop and think that the Nintendo Switch has sold over 1 billion pieces of software between games like Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom off to an incredible start now, all the different Pokemon games, they know that they have a huge library of evergreen titles, and I really think that they want to see those carry forward to what's next for Nintendo Switch 2 hardware, or whatever it is called. Now, the other piece that people are getting caught up on with this potential leak or rumor online is the suggestion that Final Fantasy VII Remake potentially looks and runs like a PS5 game on the Switch 2 dev kit. And just assuming that the hardware specification leaks that we've heard so far are accurate, and this thing is somewhere between a PS4 and PS4 Pro, but with more modern technologies like DLSS and various other techniques you can use to get better frame rates and resolutions using AI and modern technology, I do think that this doesn't sound that far out of the realm of possibility that yes, indeed, we could be looking at something like Final Fantasy VII Remake looking fully beautiful on a Nintendo Switch 2 console. I think Nintendo's going to plan for the future on this console, and while I'm not expecting a full-blown powerhouse machine, I do think it's going to be able to run late-gen PS4, PS4 Pro type games, and even some PS5 titles a lot more effectively than what we saw with the Switch. And so that is not so much of a hang up for me. I do hope that that is real and we can expect Final Fantasy VII Remake to hit on the Nintendo Switch 2. But again, don't get your hopes entirely set on any of the stuff, as we really just have to wait and see what happens. The very last portion that has a lot of people talking is whether or not the Nintendo Switch 2 or the successor to the Switch will have some kind of camera feature. And that's one that, while it was kind of cool in the DSi and 3DS generation, I really did not see Nintendo revisiting a camera on a handheld console. Maybe they could do something interesting and wacky with it this time around. Maybe they have some kind of AR mini games that kids like to play, and I could definitely see Nintendo doing something with the camera. It's also just the feature out of all the leaks and rumors that I would personally be least excited for if it is indeed true, but it's not going to take away from my experience. It's just an extra piece of cost on the hardware, and it's like, why would you include it? But hey, we could be looking at a camera returning to next generation hardware. But whether or not this particular source and rumor/leak is true, I do think it stands to reason that yes, indeed, developers do have dev kits in their hands right now. Things are ramping up for a new Nintendo console launch, and that will likely take place in the year of 2024. And I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video, your personal thoughts and opinions on what we will see when it comes to features on Nintendo's next-gen console. Do you think that yes, we will indeed see backwards compatibility be a thing? And do you think it will be 3DS style, where it still uses a cartridge slot, but it's a different form and you can use the same Switch cartridges we have today? Do you think that maybe only the digital library will roll forward and that's how they do backwards compatibility? I certainly hope that's not the case, but it is a possibility. What do you think Nintendo will do with this camera feature, if it's included on there at all? And would you personally be excited for a Final Fantasy VII Remake playable on a Nintendo Switch 2 console? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.